Hello lovely people, Kitten here. Quick little tip for you. Sewing up is always an issue for us. It is always the dreaded thing that we put off to last, so we end up with a lot of unfinished products because they need sewing up. And the thicker the yarn is, it seems to be even more of a challenge for people. I don't sew seams with the thick yarn. If I've used a chunky, I don't sew it up with a chunky yarn. If I've used a super chunky, I don't sew it up with that thickness. I find it too thick and bulky and heavy. So I've been working with the new marble, and I'm going to give you a few tips on how to sew up the seams. Try and make it a bit easy for you. Okay, let me show you what we do.
Down a little alley in the heart of Kendal town is a tiny independent yarn shop. Welcome to the wonderful world of the Kitten and the Goat.
Right, my lovelies. Sewing up chunky. A lot of people, this is my shoulder seam for the waistcoat I've just made it. This is the new chunky marble, James Bratt. A lot of people put the two edges together like that, use the tail and sew on, and you will get a great big lump underneath. Personally, and this is just my personal preference, I don't like doing that. I prefer to split the yarn. I mean, this is 2 strands. You might find it's 4 strands, and I've split it in half. I do the same thing for super chunky. You have to be more careful with super chunky because it fluffs more easily. But I split it along there. We take one piece in our needle. You do need to be gentle with this. Okay, right. Now, line up your edges. That's going into there. You want, keep your finger in between. You're not doing it flat. You're going backwards and forwards. This is the front side of the work. We're not turning it inside out. We're picking up the far side of your cast on so that it turns the edge very, very slightly. Cast on, did I say cast on? I meant cast off. Just turns this piece in, and we very gently go backwards and forwards as if we're lacing up a corset. This has got pieces to match. You could always use your stitch markers, these little chaps, to pin it in various places so that you get your spacing right. You don't end up with a big bunch down one end. Ask me how we know that. Just very gently ease it together like that. I mean, this is easy because it's knitted, it's lumpy anyway, but you will get into the practice of it. The more you do it, the easier you'll be able to hide your stitches. It's much easier with a cast off edge because you've got, can I show you? Yeah, you see where it's cast off? You've got 2 sides to where it's cast off. It's this side you want to catch up so that that turns slightly and tucks in. Here, there's your 2 sides. This side you want to catch up so it turns in very slightly. See? Just catch along like that. These pieces left over, I'll just sew in backwards and forwards and hide it. There's the other side that I've done. The shaping just vanishes into the middle. You don't get a big lump from the shaping. This isn't going to show this lump. Vanishes, and it makes a much neater finish. So that's how I sew up a chunky weight seam. So I was going to wrap this video up thinking we've sewn a seam, that's fine, you know that. And then I thought, I've got this side seam to sew up. I haven't got any long tails here, so how will people know how to do that? So I'm going to show you that as well, just in case. It's always better to know more and pick the fruit out of it. Now, when you're going to split a yarn, you work with small pieces. No cheating and have a huge, great big long length so you don't have to have joins in it. I know. Same thing. We're going to untwizzle. Oh, come here, little monkey. Got no nails. See, I'm so used to having nails to do everything for me. Getting better. They are getting better. We are getting past the stage. So we're going to untwizzle. And the easiest way to do it is to just untwizzle. Take it out, untwist it, stroke it down. Sometimes you can, perhaps if I get to the end a bit more, sometimes you can pull one out and it will slide out, but this is a particularly textured yarn. Sometimes you can get hold of one and pull it through. A bit textured to do that really, this yarn. Now you've got two bits to sew up with. So, easy way to thread a needle. Wrap your yarn round the needle eye. Hold it tight, flat, not eye side, flat side. Give it a little tug so it flattens. Keep the pressure on. Slip it through. Now then, I wonder which way will be the easiest to start on this. Start at the bottom, shall we? Don't tie a knot in the end, because that looks horrible and it makes a bump, and you don't want to do that. What you want to do is come back inch and a half, something like that. Come out right on the end, pull that through so that it's just going to disappear like that. Little tiny little stitch that will anchor it. Figure of 8 on the bottom corner. That will keep your edges flat and level. Very gentle, gentle. Now I'm actually going to match these two up. This is the other end, this is the side seam. I'm going to give it a big tug. Don't be scared to handle it, it's not going to fall to pieces. And I'm going to slip the needle through so I've got something to hold it to give me some kind of guideline. Now I want to go tiny little bit from there. Okay, my end is secure. I like to go up and up. Should have gone the other way, so I can't get my finger in between. Yeah, find these things, you never stop learning. Up and up. You're just working in tiny little pieces There's absolutely no tension on this yarn at all. You're not pulling tight. We're catching the edges to the edges. This is where where is it? It is there somewhere. Oh, it's in the middle. It's disappeared into the middle. So that's holding this so that I'm not going to get one side stretched more than the other side and end up with a big pucker at one end. And if you have made the front a couple of rows shorter than the back, this will sort it out. It really won't matter. Same applies for stocking stitch. Put it together, give it a bit of a tug, and if you've missed an odd row or two, let's not be paranoid about it. It won't show. It'll all settle after you've worn it a couple of times. The stitches and the fabric will relax into shape. Okay, that's flat. There's no lumps, there's no bumps. Shows a little bit because it's a variegated pattern, you can't help that. That's just part of the course, but it's absolutely flat. There's nothing nasty to catch you at the sides at all. So that is what you do for your two side seams and up the back of a sleeve if you've got a sleeve. I hope that helps you. That's it for our technique video this month. I hope it was some use to you. We're a small independent knitting shop in Kendal. If you want to visit, we have a proper website and we specialise in helping beginner knitters. I'm a very experienced knitter and I put out a free pattern video and a technique video every month. If you want to be on the email list to get your free pattern, Kitten and the Goat, Kendal, I'll put a link down below in the thing. Please do subscribe, tick the like box, it all helps the numbers, everything helps. We haven't hit our magic number yet, but I'm looking to hit the magic number this year. We've changed the routine slightly this year. The first Friday of the month you get your free pattern. The second Friday of the month there isn't a video, but we do a blanket club on the website and you'll get a square to knit for your blanket. And then the third Friday of the month is the technique pattern. So if you want to get your free patterns, be on the email list. If you've got any ideas or techniques or anything you want explained, drop me a line and we'll see what we can include. See you later.